Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Codiak here, back for another Assassin's Creed Valhalla survival guide video, and today we are taking on Gemad-Wulf. This is a legendary boss fight in Lincolnshire. Suggested power level around 160, but the boss fight itself is very challenging. I did it around 230, and I did have a hard time with it. There's a lot going on, and this actually feels like an MMO boss more than anything else. The call-in ads, you have to deal with multiple targets. It's a really challenging fight, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So let's dive in, and let's check out the fight. Now, the first thing you need to know about Gemad-Wulf is that it's got 3 stamina bars. Of course, we always focus on those weak points first because that's going to give us access to that stun attack, which you guys know does a lot of damage to the boss. Good news about this boss, there's no regeneration, there is no restoring health component of this fight, so the damage that you do is the damage that you do, and there's no changing that, which is fantastic. Another good thing about this fight is you can actually regain your adrenaline very quickly. You can build it up fast because the Gemad-Wulf calls in lesser wolves to attack you, and that is a pain point. It is frustrating having to deal with a ton of ads, but that gives you a really good opportunity to build up your adrenaline, and you're going to see that later on in the fight. I have a lot more access to abilities than I did in some of the other legendary animal boss fights. Now, I did switch to a polearm here. I think that's a really important note for anybody that struggles with these fights. The longer reach weapons do much better, mainly because all of these legendary animals use a very easy telegraphed moveset. They're going to jump at you, they're going to lunge at you, they're going to bite you, they're going to swipe at you. We know what's coming, so having a longer reach just seems to work much better. And as you can see, way different than the dogfight, we were able to get through those 3 weak points very quickly. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a lot of damage. The stun attack just isn't that effective, but what is effective is using your bow. The wolf is going to go up to this outer area of the arena. They're going to call in the little wolves, and this is where the adrenaline stuff happens. And if you've fought any wolves in this game, you know they are a pain. They will lunge. They will keep you on your toes at all times. You have to manage your stamina here. And this, guys, I told you I was going to do it. We switch over to fire weapons, and if you don't have this ability unlocked, you need to go get it because it is a game changer when it comes to these fights. Having either poison damage or fire damage is so huge for keeping this fight moving because we're not doing a lot of damage. Even with this Carolingian spear, which is a mythic level spear, I'm not doing a whole lot of damage to the Gemad-Wulf. So having that fire element to it is going to give me that much more DPS. And it's not a lot. It's not a game changer in the sense that it's doing astronomically more damage, but it's going to keep the fight moving forward. And as I said, you can see that longer reach is really helping me keep the adrenaline moving forward. And as you can see, that longer reach is allowing me to stay away from the boss for the most part. I'm not taking a lot of damage. I'm able to build up that adrenaline, and that's keeping the fight moving. And that's really the key to these fights, just not getting worn out. They take a while. They're more of a grind than anything else because the boss have big health pools. That's one thing with all of these legendary animals. The bosses just have a big health pool. Cool little move there, little animation pulling me around. That drag effect is not a quick time event, but it is interesting. You guys saw that I tried to use my Valkyrie spear there, my Viking spear, whatever it's called. Not great. They're just not great. It's my favorite ability in the game, the harpoon, and it just didn't do a lot of damage. So I rely on the fire damage for the second part of this fight to really do that damage. As you can see, the boss does have a good combination of rune attacks and parryable attacks. I found that the parry stuff really didn't matter. Even the perfect parries don't do that much damage, so I'm going to switch to a more light attack bow combination. Even the kill of this boss is done with the focus of Nornir. You're going to see that hitting this boss in its face with your bow is probably the best way to do large chunks of damage. Now here we go, we got more wolves. As you get further into this fight, the boss will call in more wolves. We started with 2, we go to 3, eventually we will go to 4, and yeah, it's a challenge, but as you can see, I set my weapon on fire, I let the fire do its thing, and we get through this as fast as possible. The key is to get these wolves out of the fight as quickly as possible. We've got 3.5 bars of adrenaline. We're going to use our Valkyrie charge there, whatever the heck the name of the ability is, I'm forgetting in the moment. And we're going to just go into focus of Nornir here and look at all the damage we're doing. 137 damage with my flawless level Hunish bow right into the head. We're going to run out of arrows at some point, but that's a big chunk of damage considering that the melee attacks really weren't doing that much. There's that perfect parry I was talking about there. Doesn't do that much. So we have to rely on the things that work, light attacks, heavy attacks, and of course, our abilities. And again, it's all about the fire damage in this one. If you guys need a quick way to get through this fight, set your weapons on fire, watch them chip down at the boss's health. That's really the key here. We're just trying to keep the fight moving forward. I've said it a few times now, but it's really important because it does a lot of damage over time. You add up all of that minuscule fire damage and you're talking about a sizable amount of damage. Now, of course, you cannot sleep on Focus of Nornir here. Look at how much damage. We are just chunking away at the boss's health. It does so much damage. You cannot sleep on that ability. If there's one ability in this fight that I relied on, it was the Focus of Nornir. It is just fantastic for getting through weak points, for dealing with the boss in the middle of the fight, for doing large portions of damage. And here's the last wolf phase here. Again, the Gemad-Wulf jumps up to the side. I get absolutely blindsided by 4 wolves. They take me to task here, and then we just have at it. We're going to deal with these 4 wolves as necessary, get them out of the fight as soon as possible. I got caught there in my iframe. Nothing we could do about that. And then, yeah, look at how many attacks are going on the screen. This is where things get hectic. Slow down, take a breath, you're gonna be fine. I'm using my heavy attacks here, trying to get some AoE damage done. I actually use my Axe Flurry there, whatever the heck that ability is called, just to try and chip away, do something to any of these wolves to get them out of the fight. It really just takes one. Once you get one out, you're in a little bit more of a better position. Once you get the second one out, you know how it goes. So we're basically just focusing on these. I'm not worried about the boss so much. Just trying to get these little wolves out of the picture, and then you're going to see in a second here, I focus on dealing with the boss in the last little bit of health. We're going to use Focus of Nornir. Just try and do, I don't know why I used it here on this little tiny wolf. I didn't need to do it, but I had the adrenaline, and the stamina. So we're just going to do it. Watch this. 4 hits here, 354 damage a pop, and there's the kill right there. So a good combination of fire effects plus your bow, gonna make short work of the Gemad-Wulf. If you guys have any tips or tricks or questions about the fight, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. As always, like and subscribe to the channel if you want more Assassin's Creed Valhalla content in your feed. And as always, my name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.